Okay. Hello, my name is Kylie Chandler, and I'm gonna act like I didn't already record this. I just taught this lesson once, but forgot to click record, so I'm gonna be really familiar with the subject. Today I'm going to be doing my final project on lessons 10.4 and 10.5, and 10.4 is on volume, and 10.5 is on surface area. And I'm going to be teaching how to solve the surface area of circular cylinders. Here's an example of one. Here's a couple more examples. And so let's go ahead and jump right in and get started for the second time. Okay, so today we're going to be using volume and surface area with circular cylinders, as I showed. And we're going to start off with 10.4, which is volume. Volume, the formula for volume is going to be V equals big B H. And we know that H is height, but what some people have trouble with is what is big B. And big B is going to be the area of the circle. And the area of a circle we know is pi r squared. So basically it's going to be pi r squared times height, and that's the volume of a circular cylinder. So basically, yeah, you find pi times radius squared and then multiply that by the height. So we're going to draw a circular cylinder. Okay, and we're gonna make this 2 inches. And remember, when finding the answers for a problem in volume, our answer is always going to be in cubic inches. So at the end of every answer, make sure we have cubic inches, which is written like inches with an exponent of 3. So we'll use this later. Well, I could use this to erase it. Anyways, so we have this, and then we're gonna make it a height of 5 inches. And remember our formula, pi is understood 3.14. So we're gonna start off with pi r squared. So we have 3.14 times r. Our r is 2, our radius is 2, just half the diameter. The diameter is the full length of the circle. So it's 2 squared. So 2 squared we know is 4. I guess if you don't know it, you can put it into your calculator. And then we take that and we multiply it by the height, which is 5. And if you plug all of that into the calculator, you're going to get 62.8. And remember, like I said earlier, our answer always has to be in cubic inches. And we write that like this. So you get the answer, circle it, and that is how you find the volume of a circular cylinder. Now we're going to do another example of this, but instead of giving you the radius, we're going to give you the diameter, and you're going to have to find the radius, which kind of sounds like it'd be difficult, but it's not at all. So just pay attention and it should be easy. Okay, so like last time, we're just going to draw a circular cylinder and give you the diameter of 10 inches and a height of 12 inches. Okay, so we know first part of the formula, pi, so we have 3.14 times radius squared. So if our diameter is 10, our radius is half the diameter. So half of 10 is 5, but you're not done there. you still have to square it like you would normally because it's pi r squared. So you get the radius and you square it, so 3.14 times 25, and then times the height, which is 12. 3.14 times 25 times 12 is going to be, it actually came out even, 942 inches, or cubic inches. So the volume of this circular cylinder is 942 cubic inches. And no, I can't do all that quick math in my head. I just worked it out earlier in the calculator. I'm just showing you how you would get that in a calculator. Right. Okay, so remember that volume is what is on, like, what the inside can hold, but 10.5 surface area is kind of going to be on the outside. So here's kind of an explanation of the formula for the surface area of a circular cylinder. Okay, let me get this together. So you have a circular cylinder, and the first half of the formula, we know that the two bases are circles, and the area of a circle is pi r squared. So if we have two circular bases, we basically want to find, or we basically need two of those. So in order to do that, the first half of the surface area formula is going to be, SA stands for surface area. First half of the formula is going to be 2, and then the normal pi r squared. But we're not done there because we're finding everything on the outside. So if you have a circular cylinder, right, you have two circle bases, and then you have one thing left, you're not done there. So basically, if you had this and you cut it down the middle, you're left with what looks like a rectangle. And basically, the length of the rectangle turns into, if it's around it, it turns into the circumference, and the width would turn into the height of the cylinder. So basically, like, we have a rectangle, so the second half of the formula is going to be, so you're gonna add them together, it's gonna be 2 pi r h. So we remember this half of the formula is for the circles, and this half of the formula is going to be for the rectangles. Okay. Just remember that the reason we are finding surface area, unlike volume being the outside, surface area is on the outside. So the two bases and what's here. So let's give some examples. And also, unlike volume, surface area's answers are going to be in inches squared. So pretty sure you could put this together, but just to make sure, instead of this is not what we want inches squared. Well, that looked like a 2 in my head. So not cubic inches, but inches squared for surface area. So just like last time, we're going to draw up some circular cylinders. Ooh, nice and pretty. Definitely could have made that prettier. Let's redo that second half. Okay. So in this picture, let's just take the cylinder. These two are the two circular bases, and this is what's right here. If you can't tell from my lovely drawing abilities. Okay, so for this first one, we're gonna do a radius of 4 inches and a height of 10 inches. gonna make sure this is still recording. Okay, perfect. So remember our first half of the formula, 2 pi r squared, and the second half plus 2 pi r h. So we have 2 times 3.14 times 4 squared is 16. So we get the first half of that. First half is going to be, excuse me, it's going to be 100.48, and then you're going to add the second half. Then we have 2 times 3.14 times the radius, which is 4, sorry, and then times the height, which is 10, and that answer is going to be 251.2. And if you add those two together, you get 351.68 inches squared. And that is the surface area of this particular circular cylinder. Just like last time with volume, we're going to make one a little more difficult. I say difficult, but it's like a solid 5 more seconds of thinking. And instead of giving the radius, we're going to give the diameter and make us find the radius from the diameter. So, bet you guessed it, we're going to draw another circular cylinder and find the surface area. I don't know what that was. Okay, so we're going to make diameter 12 inches and height 20 inches, using some bigger numbers now. Okay, so we remember first half of the formula for the circles, the 2 circle bases, 2 pi r squared plus 2 pi r h. So 2 times 3 point, well, I guess I can write out 2 times 3.14 times half of 12, because 12 is the diameter, radius half the diameter. Half of 12 is 6, and then we square 6, so we have 36. And then we get the answer for that, which is 226.06, and we're gonna add it with the second half of the formula. 2 pi r h, so 2 is the second half, this first half. 2 times, separate that too. 2 times 3.14 times radius, 6. We're not squaring it this time. So the radius is 6, and then times the height, which is 20. And we're going to get 980, well, let's write it out over here. For the second half, we're gonna get 753.6. Then when you add those together, you get 900. Oh, I looked at the other one, I was like 351, that's not right. That was our last problem. 980.2, and remember our answer for surface area is going to be in inches squared. So that is how you find the surface area of a circular cylinder. And let's go over just basically how we find volume and surface area one more time, just to make sure we have the concept down. So volume, that is going to be what is inside and what it can hold. So we're finding big B, which is the area of a circle, and then the height. So, whoa. Okay, so the area of a circle, and then the height. And then surface area is what is all around it, because volume is going to be what's inside of it. Surface area is your, sorry about that. So I did it off camera the first time. Your two bases, and then what's left here. So we're finding what is all on the outside. And that is sections 10.4 and 10.5 on volume and surface area. Thank you.